We invite you to a short trip around the northern district of Riga. It covers an area of many square kilometers. This is an unusual neighborhood. The industrial is intertwined with the beauty of nature and the modern with history. There are several places here that are very important in the cultural life of Riga and the whole Latvia. And our first stop is located on the main street of the city, very close to the center of Riga.
This is industrial neighborhood, and you can see the Culture Palace VEF here, and that was built 60 years ago for the employees of the famous factory of those years. And now this is an interesting neighborhood because in all this movement mostly involved not people who live here, but companies and all workers who work here. Culture Palace VEF had a reconstruction 4 years ago, and restarting our activities, we put a huge emphasis on a professional art, and we have 44 amateur groups of all generations. But then, of course, when all this pandemic started, we became virtual, digital, and this spring we had some very creative environmental projects like video on our columns sprouting spring, and later one of the installations, environmental installations called the Culture Waiting Stop, where everybody could come, sit and listen to the music of our cycles, these records, and perform by themselves. And with the VEFresh movement, we have a new project when we bring the history outside the premises, making digital expositions in this whole neighborhood.
And now let's get closer to the waters. Here between ships, industrial zones and apartment houses is one of the oldest cultural centers in Latvia.
Culture Palace Ziemeļblāzma, or in English Northern Light or Aurora, was built more than 100 years ago by woodworker, businessman and patron August Dombrovskis. And his idea was bring the light for people, and not only for people who are living in this corner of Riga, because we are located far away from city center in northern corner of Riga, but bring the light for all people in Riga and all people in Latvia. And as you see, more than 100 years later, it works. It really works. During the pandemic, we bring the culture out from Palace to our park. Since end of November, we have organized in our park more than 25 events, exhibitions, happenings, games. And I think that we must find a way how to exist in this time. And I think we found. We always work together with local people or domestic people, local organizations, societies, because we need a dialogue between us and people who are living here. For example, we have realized a wonderful project together with our library. It was called Vaccine for Better Day. We just bring the books outside from library to our park. We bring quotes to our park together with installations from paper, and we find a new way how book can live in pandemic times. We also are working together with other institutions of culture in Riga, and it's always nice create great ideas together, and as I say, bring the light for people. It's my mission, and I think it's a mission of culture in Riga, in every corner of our city.
Now let's go a little further. This is Mežaparks, a place that every inhabitant of Latvia associate with a song.
Dziedot dzīmu, dziedot augu, aijā, dziedot augu, dziedot mūžu nodzīvoj. Now we are in a Meža parka Lielā Estrāde. It's an open-air stage, Meža parks. And this is a very important place for all the Latvians because every 5 years we have here a song celebration, the closing gala concert, where you can imagine about 20,000 singers on a stage. And it's not like a festival, it is really song celebration because we sing a common repertoire that we are preparing for more than 3 years. And in audience we have about 40,000 listeners and all the participants of the celebration, all the dancers that we have in numbers, about 20,000 as well as singers, and they're all around this open-air stage. In 2023, this will be this particular stage first performance because it's newly built, and then we'll celebrate our song celebration 150 years anniversary. And Riga is one of the biggest players in song celebration because it gives more than 300 amateur groups which are actively participating in preparing for this song celebration, as well as approximately 13,000 participants. And they are not only just singing, dancing, or participating in folk groups, they are very active in art schools that are very common in Riga, and they draw, they become an artist, they become a professional orchestra players, and it's all within culture responsibility of Riga city. Of course, the last year and the beginning of this year is very challenging for all of us, but I think that we can overcome this problem. Now we only have to put together all our efforts and become as one again. And I hope that this summer will give us this possibility. And this year, two of our most famous choir conductors will celebrate their 200 years anniversary, 100 years each, Guido and Imants Kokars. And Guido Kokars always said that song celebration, it is like a vaccine of national pride for 5 years. And I think that we really are vaccinated with this national heritage and with this national culture pride, all of us here in Riga and in Latvia.
Daudzas balsis, daudzas balsis, daudzas balsis, daudzas balsis.